Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a little different, maybe a bit unconventional, but I think really insightful. Our source material for this deep dive is, well, super concise, but still packed, I think, with meaning. We're focusing just on excerpts from Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. Specifically, we're looking at the full title and the author. So, okay, let's unpack this. What can we actually learn? What insights can we pull out when our source is just that? The title and author of a really well-known work.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it, to focus on just the power of a title, how it can sort of encapsulate a huge idea, a transformative one, and really act as an invitation for what's inside the book. It's kind of amazing how much can be communicated before you even turn the first page.
Exactly. So our journey today, it isn't just about, picking words apart, but understanding how a really skilled communicator crafts this compelling call to change with, well, very few words. Let's start right there with that opening phrase, daring greatly. When you hear those two words together, what does that immediately bring up for you, the listener? For me, it definitely suggests something big, maybe a bit scary.
Right. Daring greatly. It immediately signals something significant, doesn't it? A courageous act, maybe something impactful. It sets a tone, I think, of boldness, ambition, perhaps.
Yeah, the boldness is a good word. What sort of practical things or challenges might a title like that prepare you for, even before you crack the book open?
Well, I think Daring Greatly isn't just about, general be brave advice. It points, maybe implicitly, to the specific kind of courage that Brené Brown talks about, which is often about leaning into discomfort, right? Being willing to be seen, maybe even failing in public. It's sort of about shifting, maybe, from always trying to perform perfectly to just being present. Embracing the messiness is where the real growth happens. That could be like a quick takeaway.
Embracing the messiness. I like that. That idea of daring is powerful, yeah, but then the title does something interesting, doesn't it? It links daring greatly straight to how the courage to be vulnerable. What's your gut reaction to seeing those put together like that? Courage and vulnerability.
It's definitely designed to make you pause.
Right. When I first encountered that phrasing, courage to be vulnerable, it almost felt contradictory, like an oxymoron. We're often taught, aren't we, that strength means not being vulnerable.
Exactly. That's a really great point.
Is there maybe a historical context where vulnerability was seen as brave, or is this more of a modern take?
Well, you're right. Conventional wisdom a lot of the time equates courage with, not showing fear, not showing weakness, being stoic. But Brown's work, and she builds on a lot of psychological research here, it really aims to redefine strength. So the title right there, it challenges us. It asks us to think maybe true courage isn't about not feeling fear or uncertainty. Maybe it's about the willingness to show up anyway, to be seen even when things aren't guaranteed. It's a pretty fundamental reframe, really, of what strength looks like.
A fundamental reframe. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the promise in the title, it just keeps getting bigger. It says this courage, this vulnerability transforms the way we live, love, parent, and lead. I mean, that is an incredibly broad promise, isn't it? It's not just fixing one little thing.
It really is broad. Live, love, parent, lead. That covers pretty much all the big areas of life and connection.
So for people who might be familiar with Brené Brown's work, how might the title hint at how that transformation happens, like the specific mechanisms maybe, not just the end result?
That's a good question. The sheer breadth of live, love, parent, and lead suggests it's not just separate tips for each domain. It implies more of a core principle, right? Something foundational that affects everything. It suggests the book is probably about an internal shift, maybe learning self-compassion or how to set boundaries, things like that. And then those internal changes ripple outwards. They affect how you live, how you love, how you parent, how you lead. It points towards a kind of holistic way of re-engaging with your life.
A holistic re-engagement.
Yeah.
Okay. And then finally, there's the author herself, Brené Brown. Her name is right there with this powerful title.
Right. And putting the author's name, Brené Brown, next to that title immediately grounds the whole thing. For a lot of people, her name instantly brings to mind her research, on shame, empathy, courage, vulnerability. So seeing her name sets up an expectation for the reader. It gives instant context, maybe credibility to the ideas hinted at in the title, even before you read a single word of her studies or stories inside.
So, okay, wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening in, someone who's curious about ideas and knowledge? We've just spent time digging into nothing more than a book title and an author's name. And look at how much we could sort of pull out the core message, the intent, even some potential actionable ideas. It really shows how even small bits of information can be incredibly rich if you take the time to look closely.
It really does. And it makes you think, doesn't it? If a title and author alone can signal such a powerful and broad message about transformation, what does that tell us? What does it suggest about how works that aim to really impact our lives are constructed? Maybe that real impact often starts with a very clear, very concise, and deeply resonant statement of what it's all about.
That's definitely something to mull over. Thank you for joining us on this slightly unusual, but I hope fascinating deep dive into the hidden power within just a book's title. We'll catch you next time.